Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Alexis Fraser, and I'm a student recruitment specialist at the University of Calgary. Before we get started today, I hope that everyone can hear and see me, but if you can't hear or see me, please make sure you leave a comment, and we'll see if we can get that figured out. But thank you for joining today. Like I said, I'm a student recruitment specialist at the University of Calgary. And if you're here, you're likely an international student who's maybe interested in learning more about our university. And I'm really excited to take maybe the next 40 minutes or so to walk you through our university, life in Canada and Calgary, scholarships, admission, and so much more. I'll ask that you please wait till the end of the webinar for the questions, but I'm really happy to answer any questions that you have at the end. And let's go ahead and get started. So right here, as we begin the webinar today, we have this QR code that you can scan for our brand new 2024 International View Book. So if you scan this code, you can get into our view book, which shows you everything that we're really going to break down today. And you can keep this on your phone with you to have at all times. If you would like as well, you can even order a view book. So if you want to reach out to me, you can order a view book and you can have a view book in your very own hands at home. I'll give you a second to scan that QR code. And if you'd like to let me know where you're tuning in from today, I know it could be the morning, the afternoon, the evening. It is 6 a.m. Calgary time, so pretty early here, but I know it could be any time for you. Let me know where you're tuning in from today. Okay, so definitely to start off, I'd love to share with all of you about Canada. So Canada is one of the best places to study in the world, with our quality of life being #1 in the world. So it's really safe, stable, and friendly. So maybe you've heard the little rumor that Canadians are very polite, and this is definitely true. It's a very nice and welcoming country. We're also one of the most diverse countries in the world. So definitely students from all over the world here who are studying, working, living, and it's very inclusive. With that, there was almost 500,000 international students who studied in Canada in 2022, and this number is growing, and this could be one of you. To give you some kind of perks on studying in Canada, we have one of the best options to work while you study in the world. So full-time students on a valid study permit can work up to 20 hours a week, even off campus. So you can work on campus or off campus as well. We can talk more about that later too. And then as well, we're one of the best in the world for working after you graduate from your degree. So graduates are eligible for a work permit in Canada for up to 3 years. So after you complete your studies with us, you can choose to work for 3 years. You can look to do a post-grad, like a master's or something. So there's lots of options in Canada. And then lastly, for our work integrated learning, 90% of co-op grads in Canada receive a position within 1 month of applying. So a really great opportunity to work in this country. And you can see some of the backdrops here. Canada really has it all for the weather and how beautiful it is. So it's definitely just a wonderful place to study. And here's a little bit of geography on where Calgary is in Canada. I think most people know the big 2 or 3 being Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. And Calgary's kind of in the middle west of all of that. So you can see us there. Canada's a really big country. And so maybe you didn't know, to get between Calgary and Toronto, it's about a 4-hour flight, maybe a 35-hour drive. So Canada is quite a big and vast country. So lots to explore here. And then a little bit on Alberta. So this is the province that Calgary is in, and it's an amazing province to live in. You can see the mountains here. We have our world famous Rocky Mountains. And with that, we have all 4 seasons, 4 distinct seasons in Alberta. So you can get anything from a really beautiful hot summer that we've just had, or you also, of course, get the snow that most of you probably know Canada and Calgary to have, which is beautiful. And you get a really nice fall and spring. So you really get it all in this province. And it's so beautiful. There's so much to explore, like the mountains, or we have Banff National Park, which you've probably heard of before. Really great to go if you want to do some sightseeing, some shopping, or some hiking. and we have 5 national parks as well. I think my favorite part of Alberta is we have 0 provincial sales tax, and probably wondering what that is. Why would that be my favorite? And really, that just means it's affordable to live here. So if you're in Toronto, if you're in Vancouver, and then you come to Calgary, you're going to notice how much, more affordable it is to live in Calgary when you're going to the mall, when you're going out to eat, because we don't have this provincial sales tax that most of the other provinces have. So we're a really affordable province to live in. And then, of course, we're in the city of Calgary. We are actually ranked the 7th most livable city in the world. So that means one of the best cities in the world to live in. So this is to do with things like our weather, our safety, our diversity, entertainment. There's really so much to do here. It's endless, especially for a student. And to do with that weather, we're Canada's sunniest major city. So on average, we have about 333 days of sun per year. So you can see the blue skies there. That's pretty much a normal day in Calgary, even in the winter, even when it's snowy, which is really nice for your mental health. And it's really just beautiful. If you're a foodie like me, we're home to 17 of the top 100 restaurants in Canada. But maybe you're thinking, I don't really care about top restaurants. I just care about everything. I care about having every type of food, my style of food from back home. We have that. So really any cuisine from all over the world is going to be available to you in Calgary, and generally pretty affordable too, I find, which is nice. If you like the outdoors and you're pretty outdoorsy yourself, we have North America's most extensive pathway and bikeway network. So if you want to go for a walk after school, or just get outside, maybe try biking, or just do any sport outside, there's really so many opportunities for that, which is really nice. A little bit about working in Calgary. Like I was saying, there's so many options and opportunities to work. And just some quick facts on working here is we have the most patents per capita. So we're really kind of looking at being very innovative and entrepreneurial in this city. We're the fastest growing tech market in Canada. So I know so many of you are starting to get interested in computer science, tech, data science. So tech is really booming in Calgary right now. We have the 2nd highest national volunteer rate. So just a little bit more about how kind we are in Calgary. And the 2nd highest number of small businesses per capita. So if maybe that's you, maybe you're thinking of starting a business, you have your own business ideas, there's lots to explore with Calgary and the University of Calgary for that. Okay, so UCalgary at a glance. We were founded in 1966, which makes us quite a young university. Very innovative and forward-thinking is what this means. We're about a mid-sized school in Canada with just about 28,000 undergraduate students. And to put this into perspective, of course, the smaller schools might have 1,000 or even less students. And maybe some of the big schools in Canada might have 80,000 students. So this really makes us a nice mid-sized school. You can really get to know your professors, but since we're a mid-sized school, you can also try so many different things and meet so many different people, which is really nice. We have 5 campuses, but you'll likely be studying at our main campus, but we just have some other campuses. Like, for example, we have a nursing campus in Doha, Qatar, and we have a Foothills campus, which is to do with more of our medical kind of sciences, but lots of opportunity for you to study on our main campus. 14 different faculties, and we have pretty much anything for you to try. So 14 different faculties, but almost 250 programs. So lots of different programs here for you. And then to give you kind of some rankings, I always like to explain that for our rankings in Canada, we are generally almost all publicly funded schools in Canada. And this means that we have an extremely high quality of education in Canada, no matter what school you choose. So when you're looking at Canada, be really, take those rankings with a grain of salt and talk to your counselors, talk to your friends, talk to everybody else, and make sure you're picking the school with the right fit for you. But here's some of our rankings. We are Canada's entrepreneurial university. So again, that's for people who are thinking, with an innovative entrepreneurial kind of layer. And as well, we have over 500 million in sponsored research funding. So we're definitely one of those top research schools in Canada. We have a 94% after graduation employment rate. So when you graduate, you're almost guaranteed the job that you're interested in, and a 95% undergraduate retention rate. So that just means that when students come here, they want to stay here. This is our university. So this is kind of like a bird's eye overview graphic of our campus. Like I was saying that we're a mid-sized school in terms of student population. We are definitely a busy school and a large campus. So lots of campus space to explore, as you can see here. I'll point out some of my favorite buildings on campus, but there's really so much going on here. I feel like I'm learning about new things happening on campus almost every day. But some of my favorites are the McEwen Student Center. So this is where you can get some of the best food on campus. Some of the favorites are Bake Chef, where you can get Vietnamese subs. We have Korean barbecue, so many different options. And this is really just a great place to get coffee with your friends, hang out, and try something new. Another favorite for me would be the Taylor Family Digital Library. So this is one of the most technologically advanced libraries in North America, with 6 floors of study space for you to enjoy. And a fun fact is that we have the largest collection of retro video games in this library in North America. So lots of different ways to take study breaks on our campus. Like I was saying, it is a large campus. However, it's really easy to get around. I'd say it takes maximum 10-15 minutes to walk from one part of campus to the other. And campus is really connected to the city. So we're in the heart of the city in the northwest of Calgary, and all students have access to what's called a U-Pass. So this is a transit pass that is included in your fees that gets you on our transit, whether it's the bus or the train. So you can get around the city. We're just about 5 stops on the train from downtown. So a really accessible campus that students really enjoy being at. Okay, so getting into the student experience, I think in general in Canada, the student experience is really immersive, really exciting. It's kind of what you think of when you think of a really fun college experience, like maybe in the movies or in the TVs, which is really fun. And these are some things you can look forward to. So not even just in your first year, but for every year of your university, we're going to have these really fun student experiences here. And like I said, if I have any questions, I will get to them at the end, but if you would like to put them in the chat now, please feel free to go ahead and I will get to those at the end. So thank you so much for the questions. Just to touch on a couple of fun student experience pieces at UCalgary, we have our Olympic Oval. And so you can see this in the bottom left here. This is the fastest speed skating ice in the world. So this is where you can even rent skates as a student, and you can go skating for free, which is really exciting. And when I say fastest speed skating ice in the world, you're probably like, what does that mean? This basically means that we have the ice that has the most records broken here. So in 1988, when we had the Olympics in the city of Calgary, so many records broken here, some of the most, and we continue to break records on this ice. So it's really exciting. You can see athletes from all over the world coming to skating on this ice, skate on this ice, and that can be you for free. We also have a really exciting orientation week. So again, you're an international student. This might be your first time in Canada, and we want you to feel really excited and comfortable and getting to know new people, especially during your first week on campus with us. So during orientation week, you'll be learning where your classes are, getting to meet new people, getting to know your faculty, and so many other exciting pieces. So these are just some highlights that you can look forward to at the University of Calgary for your first year and every year. So it's a really fun, immersive student experience. We have lots of clubs on campus. So we have over 300 student clubs to choose from. This is one of the, I think, most exciting ways to get to know other students, but especially it's a great way to try something new. So we have an array of options of clubs. We have everything from a hiking club, knitting, if you're interested in cooking. We even have clubs for your faculty. So I know when I was in school, I was in the history club because I was getting a history degree, and that was such a nice way to get to know my fellow classmates and get to study with them, have movie nights. We even have regional clubs. So say you're from India, we have the Indian Students Association. So this is probably a really nice way to feel comfortable and connected to home while you're on our campus as well. But yeah, this is one of the best ways to make new friends. We have a clubs week during that orientation week that I was just speaking about. And this is where we have almost all 300 clubs get together in our MacEwan Student Center, which is known as Mac Hall. And yeah, you can walk around, sign up for clubs, try something new. So this is a great way to be connected on campus. It's also really important, as we all know, to be active. We don't go to school just to study. We know it's going to be so much more of a really exciting and fun experience than just studying. And I think one of the best kind of amenities that we have on our campus is how active we are and the kind of active services that we offer. So the facilities that we have are world class. We have an aquatic center with a Olympic-sized pool, fitness center with 2 floors, gymnastics center, the Olympic Oval I was talking about. And one that I love to highlight is our amazing and unique outdoor center. So this outdoor center is really cool. It's basically a space where you can go rent any gear, basically any gear for any sport you'd like to try. Maybe you'd like to rent skis to try skiing, rent a bike, rent even just a soccer ball. Like you can do pretty much anything. But then as well, you can sign up to try pretty much any sport. You can sign up to try skiing. You can sign up to try whitewater rafting, pretty much anything. So we're a school where the options to try something new are really endless. And we're going to get to living on campus now, which is, I think, my number one. I know I'm saying a lot of things are my favorite, but I think this is really my favorite part of our campus, but it's definitely living on campus. So I know when I was in school in my first year, I met so many of my best friends who I am still best friends with to this day. And choosing to live on campus was the way to do that. So you meet so many new people and you're just so included on campus in your residence community. So I really recommend, no matter what school you look at, to live on campus. So just some things about our residence. We have fully furnished units, including internet, utilities, and more. It's really accessible. So it's a short walk to classes, your library, and everything else. It's very secure and safe. So if there are any parents watching today, you can look forward to knowing that it's a very safe community here. We have our residence advisors who will make sure that they're there for your safety. And not only that, they're there for your fun as well. They provide residence events, activities, and themed dinners. So lots of different options for our first year residents, but generally the most common would be the shared double bedrooms. You can see a little graphic here, kind of in the middle of the screen, but we also do have single bedroom options if you'd like to do that as well. If you do look at the double bedroom style, we have a great roommate selection process. So we have actual people who will go through an application that you submit and you're inputting your, if you like to go to bed early, go to bed late, you like it really loud, or I don't know if anyone would like it really loud, but maybe you're really social, maybe you're quiet, things like that. And they're going to match you up with hopefully not just a good roommate, but a really good friend. So I met some great friends in my first year shared dorm room as well. So I think it's a really great option. We have a really great all you care to eat meal plan. So this is mandatory for first year residents, and it is basically how it sounds. It's all you care to eat for the same flat fee. So you can go as many times in a day. However many times you'd like to eat, you can go do that for the same fee. So that's really nice. And we have a 1-year residence guarantee if you apply by May 1st of 2024. I'll get into our dates and deadlines coming up though, so don't even worry about that. Okay, so for work integrated learning, like I was saying when I was talking about Canada, we have some of the best work options in Canada, but also at the University of Calgary. So for most of you, when you think of work integrated learning, you're probably thinking of the co-ops and internships. Just one moment, I'm just going to blow my nose. I have a little bit of a cold here. Okay, thank you for your patience. co-ops and internships, that's probably what most of you think of. These are going to be your paid work terms. And again, they're some of the best in Canada because they're all professional and all paid. And they're really highly paid. So you're going to be making quite a lot of money as an undergraduate student while you study. So we have the paid options in arts, commerce, engineering, and the sciences. We also have paid or unpaid practicums, research, clinical, and field experiences, and more. So there's lots of different options to get that hands-on quality work in your education as well. Our recent placements include ConocoPhillips, Garmin, Suncor, Amazon, UN, and so many more. And I'm sure I don't need to tell you the perks of doing a work integrated learning opportunity. It helps boost your resume. You're obviously getting paid, so it's one of the best ways to fund your degree. And I think you're really getting to know if your degree is right for you because you're actually getting out into the field, getting connections with those professionals, and just really getting to immerse yourself in your program and what you're interested in. So if you want to work while you study, I really think Canada is one of the best places to do it. There's so many student supports on campus. And like I was saying, maybe most of you haven't been to Canada before, and you can let me know in a comment or a question if you've been to Canada before, where you're from. But we really in Canada in general want to make students feel comfortable and connected. And that is so true at the University of Calgary. We have endless student supports. We're really like a city within a city on our campus because you're connected to everything that you need to feel comfortable, safe, and happy here. So some of our best student supports that I think we have is, of course, our Student Success Center. So this is for your academics to make sure that you're a strong student. We have writing support, academic advising, peer-led study sessions. They'll help you write a paper, pretty much anything you need to keep your academics really strong here at the University of Calgary for your first year and fourth year every year. We have our Center for Career and Personal Development. So this is actually a new kind of connection between different services that we have on campus, and it combines career services, kind of personal development services. So it's a lot of different ways to make sure that you're recognizing your talents, developing your career toolkit, connecting with employers. And again, for the career services section, this is where you can really get your resume fine-tuned, work on your application skills, and all of those things so that you're really employable when you graduate. Lastly, we have our amazing international student services. So, of course, maybe none of you have applied for a study permit yet before because this is all new and it's all really exciting. And we're here to make that study permit and visa process really easy, really seamless. So we will help you for free, your family for free, to walk you through the entire visa process wherever you're from. But even more than that, International Student Services is there to help you feel really excited and really comfortable coming to Canada. So they'll help you with flights, they'll help you getting a winter jacket when it gets cold here. They even have international student orientation. So it's everything to learn about being an international student for the first time in Canada. So again, their goal is to really make you feel like Calgary's your home. And so these are just some of the almost endless supports that we have on campus. Oh, I accidentally put the campus slide 2 times. I guess I love it that much. Okay, but here we're getting into our academic life at the University of Calgary. So this slide is really about showing you all the different ways that your academics are going to be really exciting and really multifaceted here. So there's so many different opportunities to not just study in a classroom, but to really enhance your learning in so many different ways. So some of these ways include studying abroad, which is really exciting. So you can take your education not just to Canada, but you can take it all over the world with our amazing study abroad program. So we have options where you can study abroad for 2 weeks, for a whole semester. You can go study in Paris, in Peru, in Greece, in India, whatever you'd like to do. We probably partner with the country that you'd like to study with. So really exciting way to get an even more of an international education. We also have our Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurial Thinking. And this is a really exciting, I think, unique opportunity that we have at our school. And so I was saying at the beginning, maybe you're a student who has their own business ideas and maybe doesn't really know where to go next with them, or you just want a place to kind of incubate that business idea and really get it going, get it rolling, that's exactly what our Hunter Hub for Entrepreneurial Thinking is all about. So you can take your business idea here and get it thriving with us, and you can even get sponsored money. So we have investor funding here that will actually put investor funding and make your business idea come true. So this is really cool. It's for all students, not just the business students. So you can be in history or you can be in the arts and make use of our entrepreneurial thinking hub. So this is a really exciting academic opportunity that we have here, but so many academic opportunities at UCalgary. Okay, so we're getting into the faculties and programs here. And I'm going to talk on a few of our programs. And if you'd like to let me know in a question or a comment if you have a favorite program or a program that you're thinking about at the University of Calgary, definitely let me know. But also don't worry if you don't know what program you want to study just yet. I didn't know until probably it was January that I knew what I wanted to study of my grade 12 year. And then even in my first year, I changed my program choice. So just know in Canada, it's really flexible when you're looking at picking a program and maybe thinking about changing it. So that's something that's really nice. But like I was saying, we have so many different faculties at the University of Calgary. You have them all listed here. I won't go over all of them, but I'd love to highlight some of our top programs at the University of Calgary. So I'd love to start with our Faculty of Nursing. This is an amazing program. We have an RN, a registered nurse program. So that's really the highest class of nursing in Canada. And that'll have you being in, hospitals or wherever else you'd like to work as a nurse at the highest level. We have our nursing simulation lab, which our team actually toured recently. It was mind-blowing. They have these lifelike robots that really are extremely lifelike that all students will be working on. And so you're really getting that really immersive experience of nursing before you even get into, say, a clinic or the hospital or something like that. So it's really a high-end program. We have a birthing lab, and you're going to be working very hands-on with your team. And so it's definitely a program that really prepares you for the nursing world in our school. We also have our amazing Faculty of Kinesiology. So we are a top sports science school in North America and the world. So we have our kinesiology program, which you can take these practicums where you work with Nike, you work with tailor-made golf clubs. We have designed cleats for David Beckham. And so this is all about kind of the mind sciences and sciences of the body and movement. So if that's something you're interested in, maybe you're a really sporty student or you're looking to go into maybe physiotherapy or the options are endless, maybe even coaching, this is the program for you. This was just a quick highlight of our program, so please let me know if there's any others that you're interested in. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, is that in Canada in general, I think customizing your degree and the flexibility of our education is really such a highlight. And there's so many ways to customize your degree at the University of Calgary. So here's the steps that you kind of look at when you're looking to pick your major, pick your kind of flexibility here. But step one, select your major. So maybe if this was me, I've always been super interested in history. So step one, I think I'm interested in history, so I'll pick that. Step two, you can look to customize your degree, which is optional. You can just go with history, or you can look to choose a minor in your upper year. So maybe I was always interested in the sciences, so I would like to do a minor in zoology. I can absolutely do that. You can integrate a free embedded certificate in an upper year as well. So we have certificates in things like entrepreneurship, leadership skills, Canadian studies. So these are just a great way to add something to your resume and just to give you that extra challenge, that extra kind of experience. I think especially the leadership studies is something that's really marketable right now, especially entrepreneur skills as well. You can also look to take a combined degree option. So this is pretty cool. You can actually take 2 degrees in as little as 5 years. So you can take 2 whole degrees. Maybe I want both history and both zoology. I will be walking the stage at convocation with holding 2 degrees in my hands, which is really exciting. So lots of ways to customize your degree at the University of Calgary. Okay, so getting into the steps to apply to UCalgary. I just want to start out by highlighting that when you're looking pretty much all over the world, Canada is going to be probably one of the simplest and easiest, I think application systems in the entire world. And I hope you're happy to see that. I see someone was interested in the Faculty of Engineering. So exciting. It's one of the best programs that we have as well. It's so comprehensive. We even just released a program called Engineering and Physics, which is really cool. And I'll just answer this quick question here because I think it's relevant. Is medical school only for Canadian citizens, or is it only for those who have permanent residency? So great question there. So for this question, at the undergraduate level, all of our programs are open to every student. So if you want to take nursing, if you want to take kinesiology, if you want to take health sciences, absolutely open to all students. But then when you're looking at the post-grad, doctorate of medicine, unfortunately, that'll only be available to domestic students, which is Canadian citizens or permanent residents. So if you are looking to study medicine in Canada at that doctorate level, you can, and many students do it. It's just a little bit of a process to get that PR or the Canadian citizenship, which is really exciting. And I'll just move on here before we get to any more questions, but just talking about how easy it is to apply here. There's really only 3 steps, and that's it. So step 1, submit your application online, and you're eligible to apply for 2 programs. So you kind of have a first choice and a second choice. And the second choice is there really that when we look at your grades, you can put a second choice that will be one that is less competitive, and hopefully it'll secure your seat at the University of Calgary. So we offer these 2 options to make sure that you get into your dream school, which is hopefully us. And something that is really exciting is that our applications open today. So for all of you, you can apply today, right after this webinar. I can give you the link and you can apply as early as today. And you might be wondering if that's early, and it's not. So I'll get into that pretty soon. Step 2 is pay the application fee. So for all students who are not a PR or Canadian citizen, which will likely be almost all of you, you'll be paying the $145 application for international credentials. Sorry, you'll be paying this fee if you have international documents. So if you have documents that are international, which should be all of you, then you'll pay this $145 fee. 3, provide the required documents, which I'm hoping to show you is very simple. We also have English language proficiency that is needed at the University of Calgary. Lots of ways to get it. There's lots of ways to get it, even just based on where you're living. So say if you're living in India, you do not need to submit an English test. In many other countries, you do not need to submit an English test. So that's really nice. But also, so many different curriculums provide this as well. So some examples, IB, for standard English B or A, you could either have a 5 or a 6. The GCE, you need a B or a 6 in English language or literature. And then, of course, you can also take an IELTS or a TOEFL. So lots of ways to get English language proficiency at the University of Calgary. We even take Duolingo with a score of 130 with no subscores below 130. Okay, so for the application process, we'll get into it really quickly, and I won't have time to get into all of the different documents for students today because there's so many different curriculums, but pretty much we are just, let me just see. Yeah, we are looking at 5 courses in your grade 12 year. So we just need to see 5 program-specific courses, and then we're just looking at the grades from those 5 courses. So that's really it. That's all we're looking for. For most programs, we don't require anything extra. So we're not looking at any extracurriculars. We are not looking at any essays. We're not looking at anything like that. There's a couple programs that require something small, like an audition for dance or in the fine arts. And for health sciences, there's a small written portion that talks about how research intensive the program is. But for every other program, all we're looking at is 5 required high school courses in grade 12, and we're looking at your grades. So the best thing to do to be a strong student is, here's my 2 recommendations. Apply early, which you can apply as early as today if you're in your generally final year of high school, grade 12, if you're looking to start in fall 2024, and keep those grades high. So they really vary. And I'm going to give you all of our contact information at the end if you want to reach out to your regional recruiter with your curriculum. But those are the two best things to be a competitive applicant. Here's the application process. So step one, research different programs, maybe think about the program you're interested in. And then August 15th, the day, you can start applying. So really exciting for all of you. You're here on an exciting day where you can actually start to submit your application. And again, applying early is best. There's just no harm in waiting. So there's no reason to not apply early. We can start to look at early grades. And then once you have your first semester grade 12 grades, we can look at those as well. You have to upload pretty much any document to your student portal after applying online by March 15th. And then we have some scholarships. So let's get into those scholarships. Okay, let's get into fees first and then scholarships. But for tuition and fees, studying in Canada, hopefully many of you know, is really affordable. So lots of different ways to fund your degree, but at the base of it, it is going to be quite affordable for international students, and especially our schools. We are one of the most competitive for fees. So that means that we are some of the most affordable for fees in Canada. So for international tuition, depending on your program, it's going to be approximately $26,000 Canadian up to $35,000 Canadian. And this is going to be your tuition. And then we have on top of that, your books, residence, and meal plan as well. So we have generally in a year, I'd say for most students, an average of $35,000 to $37,000 Canadian is kind of where most students land for their full year at a University of Calgary for your first year. Lots of ways to fund your degree through working part-time, the co-ops and internships, and scholarships, like I said, we'll get into. But this is going to be quite affordable. So I know the number might sound high, but I really encourage you to speak to me, speak to your regional recruiter, to your parents, to your counselors, and we're going to find a way to make studying in Canada affordable and your dream. Okay, but like I was saying, scholarships, because I'm really excited about how many we offer for international students. So many students wonder, are the scholarships available for international students? And in every single category of award, we offer to international students, and we have many for international students. When I say categories, we have 3 categories of awards. So we have automatic awards, high school entrance awards, and prestige awards. So to start, automatic is just like how it sounds. So when you apply to the University of Calgary, even before you submit a scholarship application, you're going to be assessed for some automatic awards. So we have 2 of them. We have the IB Award, the International Baccalaureate Award, and we have the President's Scholarship. So for the IB Award and the President's Scholarship, it's just like how they sound. If you have certain grades, then you can get this award. And so I believe it's a score of 35 or higher for IB and a 95% or higher for the President's Award. So these are 2 awards that you can get. You can even get both. But if you finish your grade 12 year, you finish the IB diploma, then you can be eligible for these awards. And they range from $2,000 to $5,000. Then we have high school entrance awards, and this is our largest category of scholarships. So this award category, you can win anywhere from $500 up to $10,000, and you can win multiple. The application deadline for this award is March 1st, 2024, and this is also when our application closes. But like I said, applying earlier is better. So what you can do is apply as early as today for your program, and then starting October 1st, you can start to apply for awards. You'll be knowing end of April for these awards, and it takes about 15 minutes to apply for this category. So we look at everything from your extracurriculars to your grades, who you are as a person, the hobbies that you do, the clubs that you're in, so many different things that we look at to hopefully get you lots of scholarship money. Then last, we have our largest award category in terms of the amount of money per student we could give, and that is our prestige awards. So we have up to $25,000 Canadian per year, and this category takes a few hours, so it's definitely more intensive. And we look at some essay questions here. And my biggest tip is for these questions, we want to see who you are as a well-rounded student, but not just relating to you, but how you impact your community. So we want to see your impact, your efforts, your outreach, and who you are as a person. So those are my biggest tips for the essay portion. The big thing is that the application deadline is December 1st, 2023. So like I said, award applications open October 1st, then they will close for this category December 1st. So you have 2 months, and make sure you start it early because again, it's some essay questions. So you want the most time you can kind of give yourself for this, but make sure you submit by December 1st. And here's the big thing. You do not need to wait for an offer of admission to apply for awards. So starting October 1st, you can apply to our school and start to apply for awards. So here's some important dates, and I really only want to go over the dates in red because those are the important ones right now. So again, August 15th, starting today, our undergraduate application opens. For October 1st, for fall 2024 undergraduate awards, this is when it opens. So again, I think these are the big key ones for me right now, but our undergraduate application award, they open October 1st and they close December 1st. So really for the Prestige Awards, make sure you're getting them in by December 1st. And those are really the big deadlines for me here for scholarships and for applying. Thank you for joining today. I'm wondering if you have any questions before I get you our contact information. I'm going to start with some questions in the chat here. I'm wondering if there's any grade-related questions. I'm just going to get you our contact information right now, actually. I'm just going to get that right now, and I'm going to encourage you to reach out to your regional recruiter, and they'll be able to help you very specifically with, your specific information for your curriculum, for your school. Let me just get you that contact information here. And please let me know your questions in the chat. Okay. I just put in the chat here a link to our Meet the Team page. So this is where you can find our contact information, and please reach out to your regional recruiter. Okay, for questions. Let's see, what kind of law is taught at the University of Calgary? A good question. So for law at the University of Calgary, if you want to be, an official lawyer, you're going to have to go to law school, which is after an undergraduate degree. But we also have law but we offer a law program at the University of Calgary at the undergraduate level, which is called Law and Society. So it's really cool. You can take this Law and Society program and then go into law school and become a full registered lawyer, and you can be studying law even at the undergraduate level before law school. So definitely a great opportunity for law here, and the law options are really endless. So in terms of the type of law, we will offer it all. So basically corporate law, any other law, family, whatever you'd like to take, you can absolutely take it with us here at the University of Calgary. Okay, what kind of documents are required for the Prestige Award? So generally when we're looking at the Prestige Award, we need to see your high school transcripts by December 15th. So we need to see your first semester of your grade 12 by December 15th, and then those essays. Those are generally what we need to see for your documents, and the transcripts are really important. So make sure you're talking to your counselor early about making sure that you have your first semester transcripts submitted to us by that firm deadline of December 15th. Do we have to convert our results to Canadian standard before applying? Great question. No, you do not. So please have your school send us your transcripts however they are. We might need to get some transcripts translated, but in general, you don't have to convert them to any sort of Canadian percentage or anything else like that. We have an amazing international admissions team who works with every curriculum, every country. So whether, whatever curriculum you have, we will be able to work with that. So great question. Just a quick question for programs. I noticed there's an enhancement option in BSc Computer Science with concentration in software engineering. Is it almost the same as an SEng from Schulich? Do you mind to elaborate? Good question. So there's definitely some strong distinctions between a full computer science degree and an engineering degree. And students ask us this a lot, and it's a great question. And what we normally say is the distinct options between taking engineering and taking computer science is that computer science is working with existing components of technology, whereas engineering is looking to be kind of innovative in the process of working with new technology. So of course, with engineering, you're going to be engineering different components. And so that'll kind of be the difference there. So computer science working with that existing technology, and engineering is definitely going to be working with new technology, not new technology, but looking at new systems and creating new systems. Whereas computer science is working with the current tech, data science. That's probably the best explanation I can give, but I would actually really recommend you to reach out to the Faculty of Science, Computer Science, and Engineering to see exactly what they have to say too, because of course they're going to be the experts, and they're both amazing programs, both with kind of similar yet different trajectory paths in terms of the jobs you can have, but they're going to be the best ones to answer that. So I definitely recommend reaching out to the faculty for those questions. But great question. When should I begin my study permit application? And just the University of Advisors to help me through the process. So great question. So as soon as you get your offer of admission, we encourage you to start with your study permit. And if you apply as early as today, as early as maybe within the next month or two, we generally start giving out offers as early to mid-November. So that's as soon as you can get your offer, and we continue rolling out offers kind of nonstop after that. So as soon as you get your offer of admission, please apply for the study permit. And yes, we have an amazing international student services team who will walk you through and help you with the study permit process. So once you have that offer, we will be in connection with you to get you in the hands of international student services who will help you with that. Is 1 year of residence also guaranteed for transfer students? Good question. I believe it is. Let me just check that quickly. You guys are asking some great questions here. Looks like it is guaranteed for transfer students as well. So as long as you're applying for residence by May 1st of 2024, if you're entering year, so you have to be, of course, a first year, not necessarily a first year student with us, but of course it's going to be your entering year with us. So for your first year with us, even if you're a transfer student, yes, you can have that 1 year residence guarantee. So great question there. And let me get back to the questions. Let me just share my screen again. Okay. If I did apply today itself, August 15th, how many days can I expect the conditional offer? So yeah, offers start going out in November, early to mid-November. And if you're applying maybe after October, the general timeline for international students is 6 to 8 weeks from the time that we get your required documents. So not from the time that you apply, but from the time that we get your required documents. So if you apply as early as today itself, you can expect that conditional offer in about early to mid-November. What happens if final transcripts aren't ready? Oh, great question. We don't need to see your final transcripts by December 15th. We know that students in grade 12 do not have your final transcripts by December 15th. We need to see your first semester grade 12 transcripts, or whatever transcripts that you have that are in, if you're in the GCE program, if you're in the A levels, AS levels, IB, we just need to see the transcripts that you have in your first semester of that grade 12 year. So definitely not the final transcript, so don't worry about that. To use the 4-point GPA or the 5-point, great question. So if you're submitting a 5-point, we will convert it for you, but generally we use a 4-point unweighted GPA scale. But you don't have to do any conversions on your end. Please don't do any conversions. Just submit the transcripts that you have, and we will have our own internal conversion system that we use. So thank you for that. Are international students allowed to stay in school during breaks? Absolutely. So I'm going to give a couple examples. So say it's Christmas break, and if you'd like to stay on campus with us, absolutely, you can stay throughout. And even in spring and summer, if you may not choose to take classes in spring and summer, you can absolutely apply to stay in residence for spring and summer. And it's a great time in Calgary summer. So I definitely recommend maybe considering staying in Calgary and on residence during summer as well. Do we have any need-based scholarships or any scholarships for women applying in the STEM program? So I love that, women in STEM, that's amazing. Off the top of my head, we definitely should have some amazing STEM program scholarships. Whether they're for women specifically, I'm not sure that we exactly have, because when I say that, it means that the scholarship will be open for everyone, but we may have some women in STEM scholarships. And if you'd like to reach out to your regional recruiter, they can definitely give you the list of all the scholarships that we have. And so you can take a look to see if we have a very specific women in STEM scholarship. But we are definitely doing lots of funding here for women in STEM through research, through grants, and for need-based scholarships. We do absolutely. And so we will look at need-based as well as, things like extracurriculars and your grades as well. So great question. After applying today, do you give offers based on mock results? So generally for mock results, we look at those kind of interim scholarships and those first semester scholarships. So when you apply, you'll have your student portal where it's going to be asking you very specifically what we need from you. So it'll be assessing you and looking what we need from you. And so what documents you have, we'll take a look at that and see what we need from you. And again, I recommend you reach out to your regional recruiter to get an idea of what documents you need specifically. How competitive is it to get a co-op or internship in your first year? So good question. So generally for the co-ops or internships, those will be taken in your second and third year. So we really don't see students doing a co-op or internship in your first year. You need a foundation of some schoolwork, some research to be able to go into a co-op and internship. You can certainly work part-time in your first year to fund your degree. But for a co-op or internship, for your second and third year, I'd say it's like the normal job market. So there has to be some competition. There has to be some showing of your interview skills and a resume to get the job that you want. But luckily, we have that amazing career service center who can work with you to get your resume and your application interview skills really strong. And so if you put in the work, you're going to be an amazingly competitive applicant. Since Canadian job market is currently struggling, how do UCalgary get opportunities for co-op or SIP? So I think when you're looking at Canada and the job market, it's really varied everywhere. And in Calgary, I can definitely say that it feels like it's booming. And so students are able to find work. Our co-op and internship program is extremely strong, and we are working so hard to get students jobs. And so I really don't think you have to worry about anything in Calgary. And our co-op and internship office really works hard to get so many different employers working and connected with Calgary students. So I think you're going to be really impressed with our co-op and internship program and kind of the option and availability of jobs with us. I'm interested in studying education systems and education management, not with the intention of becoming a teacher. Are there any courses available in Calgary where I can study such things? Good question. Usually I'd say if that's what you're interested in, that might be looking to do a master's in education as well, might be one of the options. Something exciting that you could actually also do is to take a combined degree in education and business. And so it will be the two distinct programs, but you're really getting a strong entrepreneurial and management background. But you also, I think it would be beneficial to get, of course, a whole education, undergraduate education in education, because it's really going to give you that background to be successful in the education industry. So that's definitely a great option. But I think as well, when you're looking at academia and looking into education management and the education systems, moving on to a master's is an amazing way to do that. It'll be very, I think, intentional working with a professor with your master's. And so I think those options are absolutely available for something like that. When pursuing a combined degree, is the cost doubled? So no, it's not doubled. And when we look at the cost, basically you're just looking at 5 years of studying versus 4. And how we look at that is because when we look at tuition fees, we are doing it per course. And for a combined degree, you're still just taking 5 courses per semester, 10 courses per year, but it's just going to be 5 courses, 5 years instead of 4 years. So definitely not doubled. You're just adding that 1 extra year to get 2 degrees. So it is such an affordable way to get 2 degrees in Canada. What is the average pay for jobs on campus? So yeah, we have a really competitive minimum wage in Canada. So our minimum wage is $15 per hour in Canada, which is already a great baseline, but I'd say for most jobs, you're getting more than that. The average, I don't really have on the top of my head because it really varies per job. But I think a great baseline is to just look at that $15 minimum and knowing that you're probably going to be making even a little bit more than that. And most students, I'd say they work anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week on campus. And so if you kind of add that up, it's a really great way to supplement your funding by working on campus. Could you please discuss a bit about how students manage daily groceries, nearby markets, and vegetarian meal plan on campus? Absolutely. So I think to start, Calgary is so inclusive and so varied in the food options and the cuisines and the restaurants that we have here in general. Even for the grocery stores, there are so many different regional based grocery stores in Calgary, as well as so many low cost grocery stores. We even have lots of programs on campus that can get you groceries for almost free, for very discounted on campus. I know I make use of them too. They're open to everyone. And so in terms of affordability and accessibility, I think Calgary and the University of Calgary are amazing for that. And with the meal plan itself, all first-year students have a mandatory meal plan. And really, if you wanted to live on campus all 4 years and get a meal plan, you can do that. We have vegetarian options, vegan options, halal, so many different things for all the different types of options for a meal plan. And then for nearby daily groceries and nearby markets, again, you're all going to be having the U-Pass, which is the transit pass. And there's so many grocery stores close by. Like I said, we're in the heart of the city. So really great options for getting around. And so I think eating is really exciting and accessible in Calgary. What's the travel process for an international student coming to Calgary? So I think to put it quite simply, for travel, we will help you with our international student services, whether you need help getting from the airport to the university, help getting your flights, everything like that, kind of what to do for travel. And so when that process starts to happen, we're going to get you in touch with our international student services, and that's their job, to make you feel comfortable and at home and how to get here and all the logistics. So yeah, I think in short, it's really exciting, and we're going to help you with every single step of it. So if you or your parents have any questions, once you have that offer of admission, we're going to help you with all of that with our international student services. Today at 9 a.m., I think UCalgary is organizing a virtual tour. Absolutely. Yes, we are. Really exciting. Can you suggest how to join that session? I got confirmation, but suggesting Facebook page to join the event. Yes, that is correct. So it'll be through Facebook Live. I believe it's my colleague, Kara. She's amazing. She is working with coordinating our tours right now. And so absolutely, it is through Facebook Live. And I really encourage you to join that event because it's such a great way to see campus. It's a beautiful day here. It's a sunny day. So you're going to get a great view of campus. And yeah, thank you for all the questions as well. With that, I think we've come through all our questions just at the perfect time. Thank you all for your amazing questions. It's been really exciting to answer your questions and to have you join here today. Kindly share the Facebook link. Absolutely. Just one moment. Okay. But yeah, thank you all so much. I'd encourage you because of course we are out of time today. If you have when you have any follow-up questions, because I think there's lots to learn about the University of Calgary still, definitely reach out at any point to your recruiter. I put that link in the chat, so please make sure to reach out to them. Just put the link in the chat here. Is it possible to get connected with all students who are joining fall 2024 at the University of Calgary? Currently, we don't offer something specific like that. However, we do have the regional clubs, which you can start talking to, and you can continue coming to these webinars. And I think the best thing to do is to get in touch with your recruiter, but we don't currently offer a service like that. We're always kind of thinking about it, but there's just not something that we offer currently. And so definitely get in touch with us, and we're going to help you with everything you need to know to get connected. Well, thank you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are. A great evening, a great morning, great afternoon. I'm going to go make a coffee as it's now 7 a.m. And thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much.